Hello everyone, welcome once again to another episode of ForwardPreneurs. My name is Susana Fuertes and I'm your host. Today I have the pleasure to have another forward thinker, Madhu. Madhu, thank you so much for being here today, for accepting my invite. I had been inviting Madhu from 5 months ago. I had told her I have a podcast coming and she said yes. And here we are now, 5 months later. But like I said, we're always moving forward, right?
That's right.
Hello, Madhu. Thank you so much for coming here. I would like you to please introduce yourself.
Sure.
And let me know your adventures. I know you do a lot of wonderful things. And yes, please share with us some of the activities that you do.
First of all, thank you, Susanna, for inviting me here. It's my pleasure. And I'm an artist, a mountaineer based in Bahrain. So I have been doing art since almost 2 decades. But my mountaineering journey, it started recently since 2018. And along with that, I'm a yoga instructor. And my causes that I support are women empowerment and education for underprivileged children.
That is wonderful. Now, with so many adventures, I'm sure you stay busy.
I do, yeah.
I would like you to share with us, how did Mountaineer started? Because you said that's the most recent one, so we're going to go backwards.
Sure. So I used to stay in UAE. We stayed there for 15 years along with my family. So 10 years back when we shifted to Bahrain, I was a little lost. I had left lots of friends behind and I didn't know many people here. So that is the time when I put myself into lots of art. Like all the time I was painting because I was sad leaving things behind. But then Bahrain welcomed me with open arms. I participated in many exhibitions. I hosted my own exhibitions around the Kingdom of Bahrain. Still, that was not enough. My soul was not very happy. So one fine day, I met Chef Vineet Bhatia from the Rasoi fame in the Gulf Hotel. And he was going for a charity trek to Mount Everest Base Camp.
Ooh, wow.
So that was a triggering point for me. I was thinking, I am an active person. Like I always do yoga, swimming, tennis. I have been active my whole life. I have been fit. Why not give this a try? So I told him I would like to join for your cause because I am born and brought up in Nepal. I am a Nepali and Himalayas are very close to my heart. And I wanted to go on this trek. Also, this trek was for charity purposes, for supporting underprivileged kids and for education. So it was ticking all the boxes.
Right.
But I did not think that there will be so many hiccups in this journey of mine. So it started with so many challenges. The biggest challenge was convincing my family that I can go and I can do it.
Right. You said, I'm fit, I do yoga, I've been working out constantly.
Yeah.
What could go wrong, right?
That's true.
And I think it's amazing that you mentioned that one of the main reasons that you decided to join this, it was not just because Nepal is close to your heart, but also the cause behind it, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that's something that really motivates people. When you really know what motivates you and when you really understand the good causes that there's behind so many activities and so many projects, that kind of gives you the fuel to keep going and to keep moving forward.
Yes.
Now, I would like you to share with us, because I mean, it was a new experience and you mentioned that it checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
So once you got there, your first experience when you put all the gear on and you said, I'm ready for this.
Yes.
What else happened on your first expedition?
Okay. So I was the only lady in the team of 11 men. So it started from there. So my family was not convinced that I should be going, but somehow after lots of convincing that I will put my safety gadgets on and I will not be taking too many risks, unnecessary risks. Safety first is the motto always. We have to be very safe in the mountaineering, in the Himalayas or anywhere. We go for mountaineering, we go for any summits. Safety is number one. But I had a very supportive team and they were like family. Once you go up there, you have to take care of each other. So the experience was overwhelming. We started from the low mountainous region, but as we go higher, the oxygen is less, the terrain is more and more difficult. Some days it's rainy, some days it's snowfall. And we stayed at the top of Mount Everest Base Camp. Above the height of 5,500 meters, there is a place called Khumbu Icefall. We stayed there for 2 nights and 3 days. That was one of the most amazing experiences of my life at that time. And I was very happy that I did it. When I came back, I thought, yeah, that's it. I have ticked a box in my life. Now I can do anything. And again, I went into art. But after a few months, I said, no, there is something missing. I loved it so much. Yeah, I loved it so much that I have to go back. I have to do it again. So I started taking my fitness more seriously. And after a year, I went to another mountain. I climbed again higher than I had done before. So this was just the trigger point to, start my mountaineering journey.
Yeah. How amazing. And now you mentioned that you needed to convince your family, and eventually when you assured them that your safety was not going to be at risk, compromised, then they support you.
Yeah.
Now, the group that was with you, have you met them before, or was it your first time meeting them? Because to have that trust, because you say you felt like it was like a family, because it's a whole group of people going towards the same goal.
Yes.
Have you met them before, or was it like a whole new meetup?
It was a whole new meetup.
So it was like a blind date.
It was. So I had only met Chef Vineet for hardly 1 hour in one of his master classes. The rest of them, I had never met anyone. So initial 2-3 days when we were moving around in Kathmandu, that was the icebreaker. We were mixing with each other, knowing each other a little more. But on these paths, when you have to be careful of your health and your food, what you are intaking. So the team spirit is very important. The team that works together, only those dreams come together for them. Like if you are working together, it's a very, very big thing, because at the end of the day, after walking for 5 hours, 10 hours, sometimes we also had days where we walked for 13 to 14 hours on the mountains. So at the end of the day, when you are sitting for the dinner, you have to laugh. You have to eat, you have to let all those guards down and breathe deeply, to connect with each other so that you're prepared for the next day and next challenge. Every day is a new challenge, and we are going higher and higher up in the altitude. So we have to be there for each other. So everybody was very supportive of me, and I was taking care of them too. It was like that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I believe that's a lot that happens in life, in business. Sometimes we have to find our support system, right? And sometimes the people that we least expected are the ones that have our back, right?
Yes.
And from what you're saying, even though you had just met these people, there were days where perhaps you were inspiring them and you were motivating them, and there were some other days where it was the other way around.
Exactly.
And this is something that we need to be aware, right? When we have a friend or a business partner, we go through different situations where we cannot always just take, right? It has to be like a mutual understanding. So some days I encourage you, another day you encourage me, and I think that's the way where we as a community can keep moving forward and reach so many things, that by ourselves perhaps would have taken us longer.
Yeah.
Now, I also understand that once you're going up in the mountains, it's not that easy to go back, right?
Oh yeah. I had my fair share of adventures about that. I had to be rescued out once or twice.
Okay.
Because the situation was so difficult that I was unable to breathe. Because I did not have sufficient gears, and the shoes that I was using on the above 6,000 meters, I did not have proper gear or enough support at that time. So I was unable to breathe, and I was hallucinating.
Oh my goodness. And you were hallucinating, you were already on the top.
Yeah. It's something called acute mountain sickness. We call it AMS in the mountaineering term. So I had to be rescued by the helicopter. And at that time, the thoughts I had was, I am just 300 meters away from my summit.
Oh my goodness.
Why did this happen to me? I was very sad. I was heartbroken. I was crying. But then I have always trusted the process. I always know that something good is happening even in this.
Right.
So when I came back to Kathmandu, I had to be hospitalized and there were so many tests done. But what happened in the second and third day after that was there was a huge avalanche in the place that we were staying. The tent that I was staying in, it was totally smashed. The people, those were stuck in those mountains, they had to be rescued after a week because even the helicopters were unable to land in those snowstorm situations. So whatever happens for good.
I got goosebumps.
Trust me, I was unable to contact my family.
Oh, no.
I tried all the satellite phones, nothing was working. But after trying for a few hours, finally I got through one call to my dad. Dad, you have to send somebody to rescue me. And after that, I just left the phone in the tent and I went to sleep, even though I could not sleep out throughout the night because I was unable to breathe properly. But in the morning, God had listened to me and the helicopter was there and I was rescued.
I'm so glad you got rescued.
Yeah, there are all kind of experiences.
Yeah.
We have to take that in mind, but still, we have to try our best to be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it how you say that even though you were so close to your goal, right? Because I'm an advocate to tell people move forward, keep going forward, right? But that doesn't mean that you are able to stop and be self-aware and learn from the process, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we need to go back,
Yeah.
in order to keep going forward.
Definitely. Because as they say, failures are the pillars of success. That one thing, it definitely broke my heart for that time. But I carried the lesson forward. Like when I went to Kilimanjaro in Africa to do the summit of the highest mountain in the continent of Africa. At that time, I was prepared more than ever. Physically, with the gears, with my food, and with my team. So I knew what had happened at Mera Peak. I did not want that to happen in the summit of Kilimanjaro. And that was one of the most difficult summit nights. We started summit push at midnight, minus 20-degree temperature, slight snowfall, very strong cold winds. And like we used to drink water from a bag, the pipe is connected and we just drink it from that. But in that night, we have to blow the water back into the bag, otherwise the whole of the pipe freezes in the night. And we cannot take rest throughout the night. We have to keep walking because even if we take rest for 5 minutes, your joints, your blood, it starts getting cold. So that was the longest night of my life. And after 7 to 8 hours, I saw a first ray of sun and how beautiful a sunrise can be. And how nurturing the warmth of the sun can be. That night taught me a lot. And after rigorous 12 hours of walk, I reached the summit of Kilimanjaro. That was a big success.
Congratulations.
That was the lesson I learned from Mera Peak. So everything teaches you something or the other. How you take it in your stride, that is up to you.
Exactly. And I'm sure with all these experiences, somehow it motivated to write these amazing books.
Yes. After my first expedition, I got a lot of support from the community of Bahrain, back home in Nepal, and many places around the world. And also people wanted to know more details like how I cope up in those difficult places,
Right.
and what are the challenges, how they can go about it. So I thought, okay, let's write a book. And once I wrote the book, it was doing well. So I wrote the book about my second experiences, third experiences. By the fourth time, I got support from His Excellency Sheikh Rashid Al Khalifa. He is one of the best artists in the Kingdom of Bahrain and the president of Bahrain Art Society. So not only he bought my paintings in one of the exhibitions, he was interested in my mountaineering journey. So he supported me. He sponsored my trek to one of the mountains in Australia. It has been amazing ever since. Yeah.
That definitely sounds like an amazing experience. Madhu, I have also seen you around the Kingdom of Bahrain. I have seen you giving motivational speeches to students and other institutions.
Yeah.
Could you share a little bit more about it?
Sure. I have been to many places as a motivational speaker. EU invited me, Entrepreneurs Organization, Bahrain chapter of Chartered Accountants. But some of my favorite places would be when I did it for American Women Association.
Okay.
The women there, they were already wonderful. They were doing so many amazing things. So to interact with them and tell them about my journey, my dreams, but also to learn from them how wonderful they are doing. That was very good to me. And the other places that are close to my heart is when I did it with St. Christopher's, the kids interacting with kids again.
Kids, yes.
Like that's always close to my heart, and I did so for some children at IIPA. It's the Indian Institute of Performing Arts. Again, all the children, like the way their eyes light up when I talk about my journey.
Yeah, my eyes light up too, for sure.
So on the curiousness and their amazing, interesting questions. And also about my art, like I think that is where my heart is, and it is always good to talk to people about my journey, what inspires me, but also it is always good to learn from other people, like how difficult their journey has been sometimes, or how their passion, the perseverance has made them a better person. So it's always a two-way street. I like sharing my experiences, but also I like learning a lot. And art is something, when people ask me how do we go about it, there are many people who tell they are interested in doing, learning. So I think it's something that comes from your heart. All you have to do is take that first step. Take some colors, take a paper, sit, think what you want to paint, what are your emotions, what are your thoughts, and then just go freehand. If you want to take a class, that is always good, but it is something, if it is very close to your heart, if it is personal, just start it. It will take you somewhere. The main thing is practice, practice, and practice.
You need to take the first step.
Yes, that is the most important thing, yeah.
What would you tell somebody that wants to start their mountaineer journey? Is there a specific age? Is it ever too late? I know we always hear it's never too late for anything. Now, for me,
Yeah.
I don't picture myself going up to the third floor.
No.
But after listening to your story, I'm like, wait, maybe I can. I should start going, taking the stairs and not the elevator. Step one.
Of course you can. Anybody can. And this is very, very true, particularly in my journey, because I started mountaineering at the age of 40. Before that, I was a housewife. I was a mom. And I loved that. It's not that I did not love it.
Right.
Because for me, being a housewife and a mom and a homemaker, it's one of the most important tasks.
Yes.
Yeah, because you are nurturing young minds, you are keeping your culture alive, you are passing it on to the next generation. Those are the very, very important things that sometimes in this modern world, maybe out of necessity or out of other circumstances, it's losing its importance. But I love being a homemaker. But at the age of 40, when my kids were busy at school and my husband at his new job, that was the time I dig deep into my heart, and mountaineering, it came to me because in Nepal, I used to always see those Himalayas, while traveling from Kathmandu to Biratnagar, my hometown.
Yes.
So there was a certain kind of pulling. So at the age of 40, I started, and fitness is extremely important. But second, it's the courage. Physical strength is one thing, but the mental strength, that is much more important, because physical fitness can only take you so far. After that, it is your mental strength that will take you to the summit. So you have to be patient. You have to be persistent. Yeah. So you have to take one step at a time. Like in mountains, there are days when we cross almost 8 to 9 small mountains in a day. But if we see that, okay, that is my goal for today, we will not be able to do it. So what we do is we see the small hill that I need to cross in half an hour. Then the other mountain in 1 hour. So one mountain at a time, one step at a time.
Right.
That is the recipe to all our dreams, I say.
Yes, I think that can apply, like how we see our goals, right? Because sometimes, okay, we have the main picture, we have the main goal, but how do we get there, right? So in order to find fulfillment and enjoy the journey, we have to divide it like small goals, small steps. So just like you mentioned, it's like going up in a mountain. We just don't picture us like from here jumping all the way there.
We cannot.
We cannot, right? No. We have to go steps by steps.
Yes.
So in my case, I'm going to take the stairs to the first floor, then the second, and then the third.
Another important aspect is enjoying the present moment.
Yes.
We cannot think that, okay, after 20 days or after 15 days, I'm going to reach that summit and then I will enjoy. No, you have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy this very moment. Okay, because whenever we walk, we get so breathless. So at that point, we stop, we see the nature around us. We see the skies, we enjoy that moment. So you have to enjoy every moment. Whatever you're doing, you have to give your best. Maybe you will reach the summit, maybe you will get your dream, but even if you don't, you have to enjoy the process very much just to live every day.
Exactly. What a beautiful advice. We need to enjoy the present, and we need to be aware that sometimes we need to take breaks. We need to take some stops.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And then we just keep going.
Yes, exactly. You got it right.
Amazing. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Now, I also know that you are into helping our community.
Yes.
And you do so in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I have read that you have done yoga workshops.
Yes.
You also help for the cause for kids that have autism through your art.
Yes.
Now, art, it's such a beautiful thing. And I think that we can reach to so many people, right? Because with art, we awake feelings,
Yes.
emotions,
Yeah. That's
and
true.
especially when you put a cause behind it, I'm sure it makes it extra special. Can you share a little bit more about this initiative that you started with your art, and where has it taken you?
Sure. Art for Autism. This is one cause very, very close to my heart. In Bahrain, I have worked with RIA School, starting with Sarah, and then with Sneha School. All the schools are schools where they support special children. And then now also I've been working with Alia School. So art is definitely a therapy. For me, it is meditation. It's something I practice daily, almost 300 days a year, and since 20 years. So for me, it's my meditation, it's my yoga. Because yoga is not only something what you do physically. People generally associate it with poses and twisting your body and all those things. But it's more than that. It's a breathing therapy, it's meditation, it's a way of life. You have to balance everything. So in that process, art is one of my go-to things, and the happiness that it gives me, I think it gives to many other people, especially to the children who are autistic. The things that they cannot express in words all the time, they do it with colors. So whatever they have in their mind, I think the thoughts, it can be abstract, it can be real kind of art, it can be very different forms, but it is therapeutic. So when I work with these kids, it's amazing not only for them, I think it's amazing for me as well. And another cause that is very close to my heart is working for underprivileged children in Nepal, providing them education that each and every kid on this earth deserves. So I go to rural villages, I visit them in the orphanages, and in whatever way I can support them, I do support them. Yeah.
That's such a beautiful cause, and I truly admire everything that you do.
Thank you.
In regards to helping the underprivileged. What are some projects that you have upcoming?
Okay.
If you could share.
Yeah, like I have been doing free yoga classes on the beaches of Bahrain, on this beautiful kingdom of Bahrain during the winter months. I hope in this winter season also, I'll be doing more yoga classes, free yoga classes on the beaches of Bahrain.
I'm signing up right now.
Yes, sure. And the second very interesting project that I'm working on right now, it's an art exhibition. It's coming up in the month of October in Bahrain Financial Harbor. And my younger daughter, she's taking the lead this time. Both my daughters, they are artists. So
Okay, so it runs in the family.
it does. So the exhibition is called Mirage, and it has a water-based theme. And all the profits from the sale of the artworks will go to charity. So we are displaying around 30 to 35 pieces of artwork in this exhibition, and this will be my second time exhibiting in Financial Harbor. We started it in 2021, the first exhibition.
2020, okay.
Yeah, so the second one, we did it last year in 2023. It was under the patronage of Bahrain Art Society, and it was hosted by Nepali Embassy in Bahrain. So this is my third exhibition.
Third exhibition, how
Yeah.
amazing. And do you have an exact date, or it's to be announced? You said October?
Yeah, it will be from 6th of October to 31st of October.
Okay, so almost a whole month. So we have almost a whole month to enjoy this beautiful exhibition. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll make sure we are going to share her Instagram page so you guys can make sure to attend and support our community.
Yeah, that will be great.
One more question. How can institutions reach you out to give motivational speeches?
So I'm there on LinkedIn and on Instagram. You can DM me. I'll be there and we can take it from there. Yeah.
Fantastic. And how can we access to your books?
Okay. You can DM me for that as well.
As well. Okay, perfect. I'm an active reader.
Yeah.
And this books just caught my attention. So I think I'm going to be contacting you.
Sure. It has all my challenges that I have faced, how difficult a journey can be and where your hard work can take you. So yeah, and how important it is to connect with nature. My books are all about nature, mountains, jungles and river. In this digital world, even when I see kids being online all the time, it makes me sad actually. It's very important to stop it somewhere, draw a line somewhere and connect more to the nature. I think people have forgotten what grounding is, Grounding is something when your feet touches the real earth. It can be sea, it can be beach, it can be jungles, but what is the feel of sand under your feet? So my books are all about that.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's very important to be connected with nature. It is my go-to place for everything. If I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, I am sad, I'm emotional, Budaya Beach is the place for me because it's close to my home. So it's very important, to be.
Wonderful. Well, Madhu, thank you for sharing all these beautiful insights. I'm sure it's going to be helpful for our audience. And please reach out to her via LinkedIn and you can learn more beautiful things from Madhu.
I would like to say at the end of our session, it has been amazing interacting with you. You are a great person. You are an inspiration yourself. What you are doing for women empowerment or for awareness of what we all can do. Along with that, I would like to say that we all should dream big. Dreaming is the first step, the rest will follow. Of course, there has to be hard work, there has to be passion. But only if we dream, we can make it come true. So go, whatever next project you have in mind, write a book, make a painting, do that startup, do not stop. You only live once, so go for it.
Amazing advice, Madhu. Thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing all these wonderful things that you do, not just to fulfill yourself, but to help our community. I'm pretty sure everyone is going to enjoy listening to our interview and learning so much about you and how to look forward to great adventures and projects. Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste.